Hello, welcome back to another video. There have been a lot of new changes with the new Blender 5.2. I'm not going into them today. Today we're going to talk about two things that have existed for years. One is how to control the point of origin for transformations, and two is how to make better use of the G key and the keyboard to move things around inside of the video sequence editor. Let's start with an example on scaling. For example, let's say I needed this as something to animate. Start it small and then blow it up on screen. What I could do to prepare for that is I can apply cropping, like so, right? So I've got my cropping going on left and right and top and bottom. And then let's say it does need to be here, or actually no, let's say it needs to be over here. And now I want to try to scale it up. So that means now if I set a keyframe, let's say I set keyframe here, XX, and then I jump to the end over here, and I start scaling like this, there's a problem. It is scaling, certainly, but it's also moving away and off screen. That's not what I want. I want it to grow and stay in that same spot. This is where the origin comes into play. Because you'll see, as soon as I press the letter S, you can see that on screen, this line, it's going from that little dot over there. That was the point of origin. Let's back this up a little bit so that we can see what's actually going on. So I'll just press Control Z until we're back to where we were. Where were we? Taking that out. There we go. Okay. This circle represents the origin, and it is always placed at the very middle of your image or your video. Over here you can see there it is, origin, 0.5, 0.5. So that means like right down in the middle because the values go from 0 to 1. Watch what happens when I start just clicking and dragging in here. So if I click and drag to the left, then it goes all the way to the left side. If I go bring it over, and now it's a value of 1, then it goes to the right side. Similarly, on the Y, if I bring it up to the right, then it goes up top, and then 0 down to the bottom. So the idea is that 0, 0 is over here, and 1, 1 is over here. We need it to be right over there. So let me just go ahead and change the origin so that it's more like that. Doesn't have to be exact, but that's what we want. So now, let's bring that image over here now by grabbing it and bring it over there. And now if I were to set a keyframe and then animate this, it should look fine. So I'll go ahead and press I on these two, and then jump over here. And now if I press S to scale and move my mouse, you can see it works great. So this will animate very well. Let me just finish the job there. There. So you can see here, that's exactly what I want. And that's how you can use origin when it comes to scaling. An important note at this point, this is actually a terrible way to do things. Like, look at this. This looks awful, right? There's no reason to do this in your projects. Better if you have a place to go to get the official resources, like the blender.org website. You go to their logo page, you download the logo kit. That is by far the best way to do it. You don't need to worry about cropping. You will have the image in its best form possible, and you would work with it from there. If you didn't have access to something like that, then sure, you can do the cropping, but I wouldn't suggest doing it inside of Blender, at least not for very high resolution images, because Blender tends to slow down and it performs very poorly when you do something like that. Instead, you should take that image, put it into an image editor, do your cropping there, save the cropped file, and use that inside of Blender. That would be the best way to go. All right, let's move on to our second example, which is using the origin so that we have better rotation. Okay, this is important. Okay, so let's say we're trying to create an animation where we are getting this magnifying glass to rotate in this person's hand. So that means we'll start by, on frame 1, we'll set a keyframe right here with rotation 0, and then we'll jump over here and we will try to rotate it. But as soon as I start the rotation, you'll see because the origin is at that center point, that's not going to look right at all. That looks quite terrible. So what's the fix? Again, it's setting the origin. So let's look at this. This needs to be down over here in the bottom right corner. So we'll click and drag on origin X to be about there. Doesn't have to be exact. And then on origin Y. Okay, so that's decent. We should probably, just to make it look better, let's put it up over there. Okay, with that origin point set, let's try the rotation again. There we go, much better. So let's bring it down to there, and I'll set the keyframe. So now if I jump back to the start and just scrub across, there you go. That looks pretty good. Now, let me show you something that is a little bit frustrating for me still. Cases where you need to do the same kind of thing, but on a much larger image. So when it comes to larger images, I don't have a good solution for setting the origin. All I know is that as I try to change the origin, the entire image just goes off screen, as you can see here. So the method that I'm using right now is I just trying to counterbalance it. So you can see I only made it about a quarter of the way. I need to go a little bit more, so I bring it back. And then, okay, there we go. That sounds good. Okay, and now I know I need to bring the origin down, so I'll bring the entire image up first, and then start pulling this down. Okay, maybe one more round of that. Bring it down a little bit more. There, okay, good enough. All right, so now if I try to adjust the rotation, okay, so that's it for what to do with origin. I only had those two things to talk to you about. If anybody knows of a better way of handling setting the origin for very large images and videos, please let me know. You can post in the comments. I do read them. I sometimes am slow to read them, but I do read them. Okay, thank you. All right, so now let's move on to something totally different, and this is about how to use the keyboard G shortcut better for moving things around. When you use the mouse, it's very convenient, right? Like I can press B, do a box select, grab everything, or just press A, and then I can press G, and I can start moving things all over the place, and it's very convenient. What I often find though is that if I just need to shift everything up by 1 or 2 channels because I want to put a new background image underneath, what often happens is I'll press A to grab everything, press G, and then I'll press Y to lock it to just the vertical movement, and then I'll try to move it up, but then all of a sudden Blender jumps everything up. Now I'm up over here at channel 9. I didn't want that to happen. It's very frustrating. There might be a better way to do it with the mouse, but here is an awesome way to do it with the keyboard. It gives you that exact precision when you know exactly what you want to do. Check this out and pay attention to right over here as I start typing. I'll press G to start the move, the grab. Now I'll press Y to lock it again, as I was doing before anyway, to make sure it's only going up and down and not also changing where it is in the timeline. And now I'll press the number that I want. How many channels up do I want to move by? Let's say I just need to move it up by 1 because I'm going to put something underneath. Press enter, done. Just like that. It works in any direction, right? If I needed to move it forwards, if I need everything to move forwards by 10 frames, press G, press X, press 10, and then press enter. And of course, you can go in the reverse directions as well. Let's say it shouldn't have been 10, it should have been 5. Well, if I need to go 5 back, X minus 5. There it is. And I can also bring it back down, G, Y, minus 1. So that's very convenient, very good to know. And what's also good to know is that this is also something that works in other editors. So for example, let's bring this over. I'll press Shift S to bring everything back. So we've already got something on rotation. Let's go over here into the graph editor. And let me scroll that across and hit home. There we go. So let's say we've got our keyframes already set. Let's say I like the timing of the keyframes, but the values need to shift. Everything needs to be 45 degrees more. I can press A to select everything, press G to start the grab, press Y to set the axis, and then 45, press enter. There we go. Both of the keyframes are now 45 degrees more than what they were before. Incredibly good thing to know. I'm surprised it took me this long to figure that out. Actually, no, I didn't figure that out. Somebody in the comments had posted this as a reply to one of the videos that I had made earlier. I'm very appreciative. This is really good information. Happy I learned it. So thank you very much to that person. One additional thing that I just learned today as I was making this video, you know, I've probably shown it before. Like, let's say you needed to move all of these strips to this point. You can press Shift S, and it'll put them all there. Whether it aligns the front or the end depends on where you are, where your mouse is relative to the time cursor. If your mouse is on the right side of the time cursor, then you're going to align the front. If your mouse is on the left side, you align the back. I just learned that. I think it's super neat to know. So that's another one. That's a little bonus for free. So there you have it. 3 things, basics, but very good to know. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did like that, please do give this video a like and consider subscribing and ringing the bell. Hopefully it doesn't take me another 3 months or something to post a new video. Okay, bye now. Am I still recording? Yes, okay. All right, so now if I try to adjust the rotation, because as you can see now it just kind of disappears off the screen. So I don't know what the fix is. It's all based off of, you'll see I'm just point of origin. So that works really well. Unfortunately, I don't know just how to do it in a better way without having to shift it over here and then change it and then shift. If anyone knows, then please works as expected. Tell me in the comments. I do read them. Scale it. That's all based off of some new ideas. Point of origin. So that that's it. So that works really well. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do it in a better way without having to. So that's it. That's how you can over here and then change it and then shift. If anyone knows, you can set the origin, or at least that's how tell me in the comments set the origin for very large images. That's often how I don't have a better way of doing that. If anybody knows, so that that's a better way, even marginally better, please let me know. I'll redo that. I always like to learn from the audience. So that's it. That's how you read the comments. Sometimes not very quickly. But that's how you can set the origin, or at least that's how I. Okay, so that's it for origin. I didn't have anything else to share with you about. I don't have a better way of doing that. If anybody knows, I'm going to pause now. Of a better way, even marginally better.